Lately, I've been really into Forsaken. Well, I've been playing since the Noli update, so I think I'm able to give an accurate ranking of all the survivors. But the gameplay you're seeing right now may not be the best because I'm a noob. But before I begin, let me set some guidelines. During every character segment, I'll be breaking down the positives and negatives of each survivor. So, let's begin. Oh, and if you enjoy my channel, why not drop a sub? We are super close to 50 subscribers and everyone counts. At 11th place, and the worst survivor, in my opinion of course, is 007N7. Sorry to all the 7N7 mains out there, but this character is pretty bad. Before I start bashing on 007, let me say that Cool GUI is pretty good if used correctly. Another thing is that 7N7 is a pretty good counter to Cool Kid and Sixer. The problem is, outside of LMS, tell me how Cool GUI can be useful, because I don't think you can. If you see the killer and you use Cool GUI, it's already over since you can't cancel it. And if the killer has eyes, they can spot the real 7N7 in a heartbeat if they use clone. And do I really have to explain why inject is useless? And I'm sorry, but I don't see the use in Dex. In maps like the Assassin's Grounds, Cool GUI is pathetically useless. And if you say, what about clone parrying? I'd like to say one word, slasher. So this doesn't work regardless. I could go on and on about how the survivor is mid, but I don't think I have to since I think I've explained myself enough. Number 10 is Guest 1337. Out of all the Sentinels in the game, I think we can all agree that Guest is the worst one. The only semi-decent ability in this kit is Charge, but even then, its uses are very situational. People say that Charge gives you a bit of mobility, but I don't know if they've forgotten, but missing the Charge will give you slowness, and don't even get me started on block. Let me start off by saying that having an ability that is locked behind blocking a close range move is an awful idea. Especially when you miss the block, because if you do, you're screwed. I'm sure you've seen Forsaken compilations where a guest misses their block and completely fumbles. And the worst part is that Punch could have been such a good ability. A fairly decent hitbox, a good stun, and fairly good mobility. Easily better than Shableski's. But ultimately, block drags it down. Even when Punch is locked away behind a successful block, you could have the survivor spawn in with a punch charge. But if you take the parry punch move into account, it still doesn't really change much. The extra stun time is great, but half the time the killer will probably see the parry punch coming and just move out of the way. Another huge issue with Guess is that the skill ceiling for him is unobtainable, being that you need perfect reaction time and prediction skills that a human can't achieve. I will say that the pros with this character in their hands are an absolute nightmare to deal with. But those kinds of players are so scarce and so far in between that I've completely eliminated that from the equation. Number 9 is Noob. This character isn't necessarily bad, but he just isn't as good compared to the other characters. All of his abilities are for stalling out the timer as much as possible. The standout here is Bloxicola. Even though the actual Bloxicola gives speed 2, the Noob speed 1 is good enough to make solid distance with the killer if used to its fullest. Gustburger is another okay ability. When combined with Siskin, it can make you almost completely invisible, though it doesn't last long. Siskin's uses are very limited because if the killer catches you using it, they can just wait and attack when the effect is about to end. Noob is probably the best in LMS because you can theoretically use Siskin to stall out the last few seconds to get that sweet survivor win. Number 8 is Taff. Probably the worst support survivor in the entire game. He's not bad, it's just the other 3 are way more useful. Let's start off with Tripwire. If the killer steps over it, they'll get slowness and their aura will be highlighted to all survivors. The problem is that 9 times out of 10, the killer will see the tripwire and use their ammo to destroy it. Sure, some maps will hide tripwires better than others, but even if the killer hits the tripwire, it won't hinder him that much. Subspace is a little better because it messes with the killer a lot more, but it's also a lot more obvious. It pulsates and glows occasionally to let the killer know it's there, and just like the tripwire, they can just swing at it and its debuffs are gone. And as soon as his traps are gone, he has to rely on good stamina management and looping skills to stay alive. Number 7 is Dusukar, probably the most underrated survivor in the whole entire game. Both abilities are highly spammable, which can annoy the heck out of the killer, and they will eventually just come for you, which is where we run into Dusukar's biggest problem. He can't protect himself in any way, shape, or form, which makes it really easy to deal with him. At least Taff has his trip mine to run to, even if it doesn't do much. Dusukar has absolutely nothing to protect himself. Spawn protection is pretty good. If a bad guest uses their stun, just whip this bad boy out and protect him long enough with the slowness he gets to pass. His plasma beam is also not bad, though I do think spawn protection is a tad bit better. It can be a little hard to hit at times due to its very narrow hitbox, but if you hit it, you can be very disturbing to the killer. Number 6 is Chance, landing smack in the middle of the list because of how agonizingly hard it is to rank him. Coin flip has a 50-50 chance of you getting a charge or getting weakness. This is what makes Chance super inconsistent. Reroll is usually very necessary because Chance will almost always spawn in with 70 or 80 HP instead of 100. One shot is also a very good stun because just like Dusukar's plasma beam, it's a little hard to hit. And of course, its stun time is also luck based, which adds to Chance's inconsistency. Hat Fakes is a lot less useful, but if your gun blows up or you have an ungodly amount of weakness, this ability will take care of that. Chance can be a very powerful sentinel, but his inconsistency drags him down by a pretty fair margin. Still a solid sentinel. We have now reached our top 5. Number 5 is Builderman. This guy is so busted. The sentry is guaranteed value no matter where you place it. Either the killer ignores the continuous slowness and continues to pursue you, which is never a good idea, or they'll take a few seconds to destroy the sentry, and by that point they're long gone. Dispenser is a lot less useful, but it's still pretty good. The health gain is extremely slow, but hey, it's better than nothing. I must note that both of these abilities have very long windup times, and that need to be accounted for, or you'll get severely punished. Builderman has a bit of map dependency, but not as much as someone like Taff or Veronica. He's not as good as V, as she hasn't been mentioned yet, but he is still really good. Number 4 is Elliot, the last survivor to appear on this list. Let me start off by saying that this is a very powerful survivor, which is why he's targeted to death most of the time. This is why he has Rush Hour to stay a healthy distance away from the action. Rush Hour is a very good escape move, giving him speed 3, which gives him a lot of distance. This isn't even talking about how good Pizza Throw is. Elliot throws a pizza, and whoever gets hit by that pizza heals 35 health. And if a survivor gets healed by Elliot, that gives him 1 charge for Rush Hour, but he can't stack the charge. And since he throws the pizza, he can heal someone from a distance and not risk getting hit by the killer. I will say that Elliot is a pretty vulnerable survivor without his Rush Hour and can die pretty easily if he gets tunneled hard enough. Another good thing about Elliot is his passive, Order Up. This shows him when a survivor gets hit. When they get hit, their aura is shown to Elliot. This could be used in many different ways. Elliot could go to the injured survivor and heal them, or he could stay away from the survivor, as that's probably where the killer is. Point is, Elliot is a very good survivor, but unfortunately he was beaten out by 3 others. Number 3 is Shedlesky. This guy is like the poster boy for survivors, being that he has everything you could ever want in a survivor. Reliable team support, a self-sustain, and solid independence from the team. And this is all achieved in 2 very simple moves. The slash is the most basic stun in the game. Shedlesky swings his sword and hits this killer, stunning them for 2 seconds, I believe. That should be a good enough window for you to make decent distance with the killer. But once you're safe from the killer and you took a bit of damage during the chase, that's when you use your self-sustain, Fried Chicken. Though you only have 2 charges and the cooldown is pretty long, it's still more than enough health to take a few hits. Altogether, this is the best all-around survivor, being good at everything. Now we're down to two-time and Veronica, and two-time gets second place. Though he isn't the best survivor, he's still pretty OP, and I think that all stems from Ritual, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Crouch is probably the weakest one of the three because it's basically Ghost Burger if it had no windup and no footsteps. So there's not much to talk about, but it can be used with the next ability, Sacrificial Dagger. Sacrificial Dagger is hands down the most broken ability in the game. By using this ability, you can either stab the killer in the front or stab them in the back. A front stab will give the killer helpless for a few seconds and slow them down a bit, but if you land a back stab, that is where the killer will get stunned. I believe it's between 2 to 3 seconds, I'm not really sure, but the real star of the show is the most busted tech in the game, Trick Stabs. I'm sure you've seen or at least heard of this tech before, and if not, let me explain a bit. While in chase, turn on shift lock, let the killer run into you and use the Sacrificial Dagger and boom! You just landed a backstab somehow. It's very hard to dodge, and once you hit 2 of these, your oblation meter will completely fill up, which is where Ritual comes in. At the beginning of the match, you have the option of placing a Ritual. Once your oblation meter is filled all the way up, you now have a second life. If you die, then you would spawn where you set up your Ritual, but your max health is cut in half. But if you reach LMS and you haven't used your second life, you automatically spawn at your Ritual and with 110 health instead of 40. So this can be a really powerful self-sustain. All in all, this survivor is amazing, but Veronica was able to beat him. Yeah, I don't think anyone's surprised that this survivor is the best one. Number one is, of course, Veronica. Every single one of her abilities are OP in their own field. Let's start off with her setup move, Vandalism. Vandalism isn't anything special on its own, but if you combine it with Skate, which we'll get to in a minute, it can be very good. Even though a killer can destroy it with one-on-one, sometimes the graffiti is hidden so well that the killer can't find it anywhere. It is a bit map dependent, but it's still really good. Next is her self-sustain, Activate Battery. Though its cooldown is 1 minute, Veronica can use it as many times as she wants and with no wind-up time or anything like that, and heal 50 HP. But if she gets hit, the healing will get cancelled. But it's a lot of health. Her passive, Metal Frame, doesn't really benefit her anyway, but she has Activate Battery, so it barely matters. Broadcast is also really good, but mobile mode is very mid. Aside from mobile mode, the other two can be useful in their own ways. Bumper is Veronica's way of supporting her team. It's really just a buff version of Guest Charge, knocking the killer back noticeably farther than Guest. Phase is her escape move. When she hits the killer, she gets sped up and is able to escape. And finally, Skate. This ability is one of the best abilities out right now. Skate increases the speed by 1.25, I think, and when coming close to a collidable surface, she'll turn pink, and by hitting the sprint button, she'll perform a trick. Doing a trick gains her a bit of stamina and gives her some height, which allows her to do some pretty cool tricks. I think you already know what makes this ability so overpowered, but I'll say it anyway. Veronica can use her skate to trick off walls and make crazy distances, which makes half the killers literally unplayable. This could make it a nightmare for new players. A very good survivor with decent support and good independence from the team. And with that, we have reached the end of the list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and be sure to comment where you put the 11 survivors out right now. I am Cool and Icy, and this was me ranking every single survivor in Forsaken.